Whether or not you like basketball, everyone needs to experience All-Star Weekend. For those of you who don't know, All-Star Weekend is a 3-day series of events and challenges that all lead up to the All-Star Game, which is the best 24 players who are voted by the media and fans play head-to-head in a basketball game. Now, if you like basketball, you already know about All-Star Weekend and you would love to go. And if you don't, there's still plenty of reasons to go. There's tons of celebrities. Last year, 21 Savage, Shaquille O'Neal, Ben Affleck, and plenty of more celebrities were there. And you always see stories about how people met these celebrities at bars and restaurants just from going to All-Star Weekend. And if you don't know about basketball, what do you know? Well, you've probably heard of a three-pointer. Well, that's perfect. There's a three-point contest. And what else do you know? You probably have heard of a slam dunk, a dunk. There's a dunk contest. So it's really not that hard to catch on to the events that you're going to be watching if you go to All-Star Weekend. Plus, it's in a new city every year, so you'll get to go experience new places all around the U.S. Now, this is a perfect trip to take a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, a wife, a family trip, or even just to go have a great weekend with some friends. Now, the problem that's at hand is that All-Star Weekend is boring, and it's at the worst it's ever been. The contests are played out, and the game is unwatchable. There's no competitiveness. So, I've been reading articles, watching podcasts, plus making thoughts of my own. And I have a couple ideas of how to make All-Star Weekend better for the fans and for the NBA to up their revenue. I think that if the NBA just tweaks a little bit of their contests and makes the All-Star Game a little more competitive, then the All-Star Game and the All-Star Weekend will be like it's never been before. But let's really dive into the problem. What are the problems at hand? Well, one, the dunk contest, which is supposed to be the main event, is boring. It's not the same that it used to be. The three-point contest, the best shooters don't want to be in it anymore, so only some of the best shooters do, and when the ones who don't, they're replaced by mid-tier shooters, so it's kind of an unfair contest. Half the people do really bad, and half the people do really good. It's not as exciting as it used to be. Plus, the skills challenge is boring, and the All-Star Game is not competitive. Nobody is trying. Everyone's just walking, playing one-on-one, shooting half-court shots. The score is like 200 to 200. It's not exciting. There's no competitiveness. It's not a fun game to watch. And why does this happen? Well, the dunk contest. The dunk contest was invented in 1976. We've seen it all. There's not too many dunks that players can come up with now. We've seen everything. It's really, really hard to come up with new dunks and new ways to excite the crowd. The three-point contest, well, players don't want to mess up their shot. They don't want to do this event because you have to take balls off the rack and shoot them. It messes up your shot. So some of the best top-tier shooters don't want to do it. Like, for instance, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, the two best shooters in the game right now, don't want to do it anymore because they're bored of it and because they've done it already and because they don't want to throw off their shot because they want to compete for a championship. And the All-Star Game, nobody tries. No one wants to get hurt. No one really cares. It has no implications on the season or the playoffs or anything. It's like a pickup game. It's like an LA Fitness game. None of the players care, and it shows. So what can we do to fix these problems? Well, let's start with the dunk contest. The dunk contest, like I said, we've seen it all. There's no new exciting dunks. Dunks are old. They're played out. We've seen it all. There's not too many things you can come up with. So I have a couple ideas. One, a layup contest. Now, I know what you're thinking. A layup contest? Who wants to watch the players shoot layups? Well, players like Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic and players like that can do some pretty crazy layups. You can add way more stuff that's never been seen. You can hit all new places. It would be actually really exciting to see players do 360s, reverse layups from behind the backboard, to see all these crazy layups. It would be really, really exciting. Now, the three-point contest. The three-point contest is supposed to be the best shooters in the world. And it's not been that in recent years. Mid-tier shooters have been in it, and it's not as exciting to watch. So I think they should keep the three-point contest, but I think they should add a three-point contest with the worst shooters in the league. The players who cannot shoot the ball, centers, players who aren't good at shooting. I think that would be comical. It would be entertaining for the fans, and everyone would get a crack at it. And it might be more exciting than the actual three-point contest. Watching a bunch of people who are terrible at shooting threes might make it closer, more exciting, and more competitive than watching the best players who shoot threes against like some mid-tier players who can't really shoot threes that well. For the skills competition, I think they need to replace it with a 1v1 contest or a 2v2 contest. Who does not want to see LeBron and Kevin Durant go one-on-one, Steph and Kyrie Irving go one-on-one? A one-on-one contest would be super exciting. They could make rules, make it 3 dribbles, unlimited dribbles. have a whole tournament, maybe 8 players are in it or 10, and they do some first round buys. There's something there with a one-on-one contest. And if they don't want to do one-on-one, a 2-on-2 contest would be super cool, seeing our favorite duos, LeBron and Anthony Davis, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, just all of the favorite duos playing to see who's the best duo in the league. That could be super, super exciting. And then lastly, the All-Star game. The All-Star game, like I said, super uncompetitive. Nobody cares. Nobody's trying. It's half-court shots. Everyone just resting. Players going one-on-one. No one wants to see that. So I have a couple ideas. One, what if whoever wins the All-Star game gets home court advantage in the playoffs? The main thing with the All-Star game is players are not going to play unless it has some type of implications on the season or some type of reward, something they're getting out of it, an incentive, you could say. So there's got to be some type of incentive or reward for winning the All-Star game, or else it's just a meaningless game where players don't want to get hurt and no one wants to try. So whoever gets home court advantage in the playoffs based on the All-Star game would make players try. I mean, players who are the top seeds like Giannis, LeBron, Jason Tatum, Steph, they want the home court advantage in the playoffs, and they are going to try their butts off just to get that. Now, that does mean they're going to have to get rid of the All-Star draft, which is what's been going on in recent years, where players, the 2 best players, draft their teams. But I think it would be way more exciting if it was East versus West, and they played for home court advantage, which is what they do in the MLB, actually, and it gets players to try. Or there's got to be some type of money incentive. If every player on the winning team gets an extra $1 million or $2 million or money that's donated to charity or some type of money, then players would probably try a lot harder. You would see the best players in the world going at it in a pickup-like game, trying their hardest, just doing whatever it takes to win. And that would make All-Star Game the most exciting game of the year. And lastly, the All-Star Game, maybe there needs to be not the best players. Maybe if the best players don't care, maybe it needs to be up-and-coming players, rookies, most exciting players. Maybe there needs to be some type of contest to get into the All-Star Game, and then those players who really want to try can compete. But those are just some ideas based on what I thought, what I've been reading, and what I've been seeing on podcasts. So I really hope the NBA does something to change the All-Star Game and the All-Star Weekend, because it's a super fun event where fans can go to parties, go to events, meet celebrities, watch their favorite players, and watch some exciting contests with the best players in the world. So hopefully the NBA fixes this and does changes, because they can make a lot more money and the fans will be a lot more interested.